Alright guys, welcome back to Revest Fishing. It has been a while since we got it posted, so I wanted to do a quick update video kind of going over the season and the top 5 baits that I think have a chance to win the Toyota Series event at Lake of the Ozarks next weekend. We are not fishing the Toyota Series, but we're fishing the BFL, which is the following weekend, so I'll be watching closely, seeing what's going on down there. Obviously a lot can change in a week, but we will be down there championship Saturday for the Toyota Series, starting our practice Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be down there seeing what's going on. I know a lot can change in a week, but I'm just excited to get to fishing, man. It's been a long winter. So we'll jump right in to the baits, and then we'll talk a little bit update about the rest of the season about what's going on. So the top 5 baits that I think could win the Toyota Series, have them right here. We'll start off with number 5, which I would put down as a frit side. I think a frit side can play crankbaits. Obviously Ozarks are well known, wigglewort, rock crawler, but I think the frit side can play flat-sided crankbait. That's the 9. I think the 9 could play. The water's gonna be real cold, so I think slow widening 9 on some chunk rock might be able to catch some fish. And by the way, these are just my personal opinions. I have no idea if these are going to play, but just historically looking at Ozarks this time of year, these are what I think will happen. So moving on to number 4 will be another crankbait. Like I mentioned a second ago, a Spro rock crawler. I'll put a wigglewort in there too. I like the rock crawler, dives a little bit deeper than those wiggleworts, but however, with the wigglewort, I could see also a wigglewort that maybe has some suspend strips on it, or a suspending wigglewort, when they still made those, would also play. Something that it can drive down the bottom, you can stop reeling it, and it can just kind of sit there. Like again, with that water being so cold, that might be something that can play. You really hit a big rock, you just kill it, and instead of the bait floating up, it just sits there. I think that can get you a bite. The number 3 bait that I think will play will be a jerk bait. This is a Vision 110. 110 always plays in the winter. However, I do think with the weather we've had and things like that, I think Rogue, suspending rattling Rogue, might actually be a bait that you might see get thrown, along with a 110. A mixed sticks also in there, but I think a Rogue bite with real long pauses, 8-10 second pauses, might be something that you could see get bit. The number 2 bait on the list will be a jig. Jigs are huge at Lake of the Ozarks. This is a finesse jig, just a homemade finesse jig, green pumpkin, or a peanut butter and jelly with a green pumpkin trailer. Jigs always play at Lake of the Ozarks. There's so much brush, because really the lake has like 3 main pieces of structure, right? You have rock, you have docks, and you have brush. So the jig always seems to play. I think jigs and brush piles is probably going to be one of the main patterns that you see a lot of guys throw, probably letting it sit in that brush pile for long periods of time, really letting it soak, finding those key areas outside of major spawning bays, main lake secondary points, things like that. I think we'll play pretty heavily. I mean, really, it's wintertime fishing still. I don't think we're going to be, they might be moving up, which is why I put the crankbaits in there. I do think there's going to be some fish that are going to be moving up the time of day. Normally in March we're probably in the closer to the higher 40s for water temp than we are this year, which is like mid to high 30s. So the final bait that I think will play is one that everybody knows plays in the winter times, early spring, and that's going to be Alabama rig, Flash Mob Jr. Alabama rigs always play in the early spring, winter time. They really could play a lot of times a year, but I really think that'll play too. I think I'm going to give it a slight edge. Looking at the forecast, we have a lot of days in the 50s and 60s, so I think that water temp might squeak up into the low 40s by the tournament. So I think that Alabama rig, when it hits 40, plays a little bit better than the jerk bait or the jig. So I think a jig will be a key player. I think an Alabama rig over the top of those rush piles to maybe draw some reaction strikes, which how Red Crest was one, how you've seen a lot of guys win tournaments recently, looking at the brush pile with a forward facing sonar, throwing that Alabama rig over the top, throwing the jig in there, jerk bait. I think all that's going to be a huge player this week. So those are the 5 baits that I think will win. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think will play. If there's anything that I missed, I think these will be the 5 baits that you'll see most oftenly thrown. Maybe some other stuff here or there, maybe a drop shot here or there, Ned rig, but really for the big fish, I think these are what's going to be contributing. So now to move on to a little update on the season. So as you guys know, Lake of the Ozarks, BFL, we had that massive cold front. We had multiple days where it never got above like 5 degrees at my house, multiple days below 0, everything froze up, rock solid. We still have ice. It's beautiful today, 65, sunny, it's windy, but Smithville still iced up. That's why I'm not on the lake instead of here talking to you guys. So Table Rock ended up getting postponed, moved out into April, so I'll have back-to-back. So it'll actually be a crazy week for me. I'll be fishing practice BFL on a Friday, BFL Tournament 1 on Saturday, BFL Tournament 2 on Sunday, and then Sunday I'll leave the BFL and go straight to Milford Lake in Kansas to start practice Monday for the Bass Nation Central Regional. So that'll be a wild week. That'll be 6 or 7 straight days of fishing. Gonna have to be ready for that week. Gonna have to do a lot of prep and get ready for that, so I'm pretty excited. This cold weather also stopped me from going to do any pre-practice at Milford so far. Hoping we get out one weekend in March before the off-limit starts. So that's kind of the update. First tournament's gonna be March 13th, Lake of the Ozarks. Like I said, this weekend the Toyota Series starts on Thursday, so we'll be keeping an eye on that, seeing what's going on at the lake. And I'll be going down Friday, so you should get the first fishing action of the year. Will be coming out soon. I don't know if I'm going to post it before the BFL tournament. We'll see how things go. See if I have time to get it edited up. But we'll have 2 days of fishing videos. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that into one video or two. We'll see how the fishing goes each day. If the fishing's really good and there's fish catches and a lot of things to show, then maybe I'll do one video each day. But if it's slow or whatever, maybe not a lot of fish catches or not a lot of exciting stuff happening, then maybe we'll just make it into one video. So that's kind of what we're thinking, but we're getting ready. We loaded up the boat today. Like I said, 65 and sunny outside, so we got the boat loaded up, all the rods, reels, tackles all in, ready to go. Wanted to get out and get that done today. It's gonna be a little colder tomorrow, so we're gonna get everything put in, got organized, ready to go. Got the tackle organized, got other stuff organized. We're ready to go. It's just a matter of being able to get down to the lake, and that should be next weekend. So I'm super excited to get back to fishing this week with the Bass Pro Tour fishing a tournament, the Red Crest, and then the Elite Series down at Loudon and Tellico. I've been watching those events, and it's just giving me the killer itch to go fishing. Nothing here is open yet, not even the ponds. They're just starting to get open today, so I haven't even been able to get out and cast a line. I got out for 3 hours on my birthday, I think, to run the live scope and just check things out, mess with my units, but I got out for 3 hours. It was 35 degrees, and that's all I was able to do. So I'm pumped up, ready to go, ready to start the season. Should be a great year. Not nearly as many tournaments this year as last year, but still hoping to post a lot of good content for you guys. So really appreciate you guys watching. Please hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. We're up to 251 subscribers, so I want to keep growing, so we're going to keep posting content. So really appreciate you guys watching again, and we'll catch you out in the next one.